Hi team, this is another video on Snowflake, and the subject of today is the native app framework. So what are native apps? Native apps are apps that are built, distributed, and deployed natively in a business cloud platform. The application deployment model differs significantly from the way apps have traditionally been developed and deployed. For Snowflake in particularity, we have a lot of advantage on the consumer side and on the provider side. So on the provider side, we will have a faster development cycle, a reduction of infrastructure management responsibilities, elimination of the need to manage sensitive data since the data remains in the consumer content, improvement of profit margin and access to broader customer base. On the consumer side, we have an elimination of the data silos. The data remains in the consumer and there is no movement. Enhancement of data security and governance using the Snowflake best practices. And sure, we will have faster app discovery and installation. The application deployment models, here we have the managed, the connected, and the Snowflake native, which is the subject of today. So on the provider side, the provider will develop and test the application. Once the validation and the test are successful, he will package the application in application package and then distribute it to the consumer accounts on marketplace on a private sharing using the listings. On the consumer account, the consumer only need to do few clicks by installing the app and referencing the content to his local data. Next slide. Here, as we said, we have the dev environment, we have style reference or master data management, the provider develop and test the code. Here we have some files required the script SQL, which is the setup script that will run when the install of the application will be done. The manifest YAML, it is a metadata file, and the code with Python, SQL, or Java. We will create the application package, create the application, test and validate the application. If all is okay, we need to set the default release directive for all consumer or for specific consumer, then create the public or private listing. And finally, publish the listing to the target accounts. On the consumer side, the consumer will install the app and adjust the data reference, test the app in his different environment. If there is some change management for the code, sure, it will be some releases or some patching. We need to alter the application package version and patches, and then alter the application and then test it locally. And if all is okay, we need to set the default release directive for some specific account for all account. Here I'm using the quick start demo from Snowflake with some adjustment. This is the link. Here in the provider account, we have a development database, data reference database, and application database that will be created when I create the application. For the dev, we have the dev schema with all the development code for procedures, functions, and the file format stages to populate the data. And we have the data to test the application is test data schema with tables, MFG orders, and MFG site recovery that are populated from these CSV GZ files. For the data reference, we have MFG shipping data. And once the application is done, we have the schema, and the schema have some code that point to the stages, and we have some versions just to track the releases or the patch sets. For the shared content, we have a view that MFG shipping that reference the data from MFG shipping data references. On the consumer side, we have only the consumer data, MFG order, MFG site recovery, and sure, after the install of the application, we'll have a new database with the name of the application. Before we start, we need only to accept the terms for Anaconda, Snowpark, and Marketplace provide consumer. It will be a prerequisite. For the demo, let's start. So here on the provider account, so if we have here for the data section, we need to so here we have the dev database. As we see in the diagram, we have the function, we have under the dev schema, we have the test data with tables, MFG order, MFG site recovery, and we have the reference database only with ref schema that contain the MFG shipping. So this is what we have till now. And for I'm using Opera for the consumer account. And by the way, I have only two accounts, one provider and one consumer in the same organization. So it is in the same region and the same provider, Amazon Web Service. Here for the data section, I have only the test consumer. Consumer SH, and I have here the tables that I will use when I install the application. So I'm using Visual Studio. Here we have the V11 and V99. Here we have the setup scripts that will be run when I install the application. So here we have the create application role, version schema, and we create the view. We create the stream apps, UDFs, storage procedure, and then grant all the required privilege to the new role of the application. For the Python code, we have here some Python code. For the Streamlit app, this is the content. And we have the important manifest. Here we have the version v1.01, and the artifacts will be for the install. We have the script, we have the Streamlit app, and here we have the reference for order table. We need to select, and for the MFG site recovery table also we need to select. So this will be referenced by the install process. Here we have the Streamlit. So let's go to the provider. So for the development setup, it is already done, just to populate the tables and the code and test it. For the reference data also, it is already done, just to create MFG shipping and populate it using copy into from the stage. Here we will go directly to the application package. So we'll check if we have an application package. There is no application. Also show applications. No, so we create here, it is out of the box Snowflake import. Create application package demo app pkg. We will create the schema. We have two schema, shaded content and code. And we need to create the stage, and we need to upload the content of the files from the local folder to the internal stage in Snowflake. We'll use SnowSQL with the put file. So connect SnowSQL. we need to wait to upload the files to the stage. So all is done. Here we have uploaded from v99. So just to list the content of the stage, we will have 6 and 3. It is okay. We need to create the view and grant the required privileges. So show application packages. You see here that we have application packages already done. So now we need to alter the package from the version located in the stage. We will see the version and the patch number, version v0, patch 0 and v1. So now we need to alter the application package using version 1. So I need just to show version in application. We will have the so we need just to create from the v1 patch 0 because it is the same. Oh, here we create the application and then we set the default release directive just to be the main version to be populated for the new install or for the upgrade. So here we need to see that we have a new application. Demo app and demo app package. It is created. We need to open the app. It will open the Streamlit application, and also we will be asked to reference our data. Oh, here we need to have, so we need to select our data, dev, test data, and here for MFG order, it is done, we save. And then for site recovery, dev site recovery table, done, save. Oh, here the Streamlit app will show up. Oh, it's okay. Now, just we need to create to publish that. We need to go to Provider Studio, create a new listing, listing, my app, share. You next, select the listing. Here we need to provide the account of the consumer. And then apply publish. and in few seconds it is live, it is a real time. So now we will go to the account, consumer account, and we'll see here, if we refresh, that new app is available. Right. We need to install it using the get. So we keep all the test and we keep the same name and we accept all default. We will be notified that each install or each upgrade. Okay, try to refresh and the app will be available. Here we need just to select our house. We will be also prompted to reference the data of the consumer. Here, so we need to select, we have the TGT consumer and consumer SH, MFG order, save. To be honest, I am using the same data for the provider and the consumer, but to see the difference, I just updated one record. Here the application is ready to be used on the consumer data. So here we have the same content. Proximity here, if we see on the provider side, here we have on the consumer side for the entry order ID 1005, I have this is consumer data, and for 100 we have the real label or material name. So this is the only difference too, that I just did a minor update just to difference the content, because I was using the same CSV files on the provider side and on the consumer side. So as conclusion, all is done okay, and it is so simple. I will simulate a change management on the consumer on the provider side, which is in the cycle of delivery or patching or new releases. Here on the for our application in the V100 for the Streamlit, I did a small change. Here in the Streamlit, here I added on the for the title, I added my name Fauzi. This is a minor adjustment. So here, if we see, we will see later Sky Goggle Fauzi. So the adjustment is done in a new folder because we can use Git repository also. I just for the simplicity, I'm using two folders in the Visual Studio. So here we go to the change management section. What we will have here is just to show the version of the package, alter package. So we need just to first upload the new version of the code. Here you see here it was from V99. Now after the change, I'm uploading from V100. Struggling. Okay, it's okay. So now we have the 100 is uploaded. So we need to alter application using the new location of stage location. And here also an important thing for the 100, we have for the manifest, we will have the version 1.91 instead of 1. We show version in package, so dispatch to version 1.1.1, alter application. We will alter application to H2. Then we fix the application version patch 2. Show version in application to avoid complete. Okay. Now we try just to see the content of the application. Here we should have here the change is done, but it is on the provider side. So so here that for the consumer side, it could take maybe between 15 to 20 minutes to be automated upgrade. If we need manual upgrade, the consumer could update manually the release. So here I took, this is what after 15 minutes will be on the consumer side, we will see the change is upgraded. So this is all for today. The native app also include new major change for service container. So we can have any source, any code that will be packaged in native app and distributed and shared among any consumer. So it is a critical future for the consumer and the provider as well. That's all for today, and see you in a new video. Thank you very much and have a nice day.